on the debate tonight, we have Rajeev Chandrasekhar, Member of Parliament of the Rajya Sabha, Shabnam Lone, very important figure from Srinagar, and from the Lone family, a lawyer in the Supreme Court. Sankarshan Thakur is roving editor with the Telegraph, and Vinod Sharma is political editor of the Hindustan Times. I want to quote first, and I want to ask you, Rajeev Chandrasekhar, to explain. You've sent a text message which says, and I'm quoting this for the benefit of our other guests as well. Rajeev Chandrasekhar says, a suggestion to those wise men and women seeking to dilute/revoke the AFSPA. If you cannot stand behind our troops, please feel free to stand in front of them. Please explain that for our other panelists tonight, Rajeev, because I think on this panel you're in a minority. Go ahead.
No, I mean, Arnab, I am not too concerned of whether I'm in the minority or I'm in the majority. The fact is a fact that while there is a tragedy in Jammu and Kashmir, and like most Indians, I am concerned about what is going on in J&K. It boggles my mind to suddenly find that the armed forces and the young men and women of the armed forces who are doing what is a thankless job find themselves being made the scapegoat in what is obviously a political dispute, administrative failure, and a governance failure. And that is something I just can't reconcile myself to, which is there are many young men and women who are all Indians who are there serving at the request of the nation. And somehow, suddenly, this whole debate has become about them being responsible for what, to me at least, seems to be years and years of political and administrative failure.
Okay, so it's being described as a U-turn. Sankarshan Thakur, you agree with Rajeev Chandrasekhar there?
Well, I discern an implicit admission there, that we actually have J&K by dint of the security forces. If we are to admit that it's a state that we have by dint of army occupation, what are we talking about? I am not here to make a case against the security forces of the army. The Indian army has won laurels. It's done great service to the nation. But the point here is, how are you seeking to govern Kashmir? Are you doing it through the army and the army alone? Has the army become the chief spokesman, the chief arbiter of what is to be done politically in Kashmir? Have the politicians been sidelined? Is the army to be foregrounded? That is the question.
No, flip to that.
Are we to foreground? It's a very dangerous, this has very dangerous implications for the rest of the country. We are not Pakistan. The army in India is under civilian control. We are a democracy. The army must listen to what democratically elected leaders say. I find this argument very, very disturbing.
No, but I don't think the army is actually there questioning the government. It's just placing its position.
No. Arnab, I will not name people, but this is already being said in Delhi. A senior BJP leader said yesterday that when there is a dispute between the political leadership and the army must be heard first. And I think that is a very dangerous precedent to set.
No, it's also the view within the government. Vinod Sharma, isn't it? No, Vinod, it's not the army. It's the government which is being indecisive, isn't it, Vinod Sharma? The army did not announce in Srinagar that its powers will be reduced.
Difference of opinion.
Of course, Arnab, the government is being indecisive.
Spectrum
okay, yes, Mr.
as to what is the next step forward in Kashmir. But I'd go along with Sankarshan when he says that this problem cannot be viewed unidimensionally. There is no unidimensional view of this problem. There are many aspects to it. One aspect is the concern of the army. Another aspect is that how much of role, how much of space can we afford the army in the given situation in Kashmir. We have to come across as a democratic power which has great concern for the people of Kashmir. And I think that in this whole scenario, the talking that is being done through the media, print and television is not really helping in resolving, creating a situation where the problem can be resolved.
No, what is the...
I heard the other day somebody saying from the opposition side that Mr. Omar Abdullah should step down. Now, that advice came from a political party that has always stood by the Sarkaria Commission. And I thought that this political party would consider Kashmir to be an integral part of India. No, if there's going to be one yardstick for the rest of India, another for Kashmir, I don't understand this point at all.
No, the question is...
I think that this political party did not even make a semblance of asking a chief minister who should have resigned to make him resign.
No, but Vinod Sharma...
a chief minister of Jammu and Kashmir who's democratically elected, who's heading a coalition, to step down. This is an internal matter of the coalition and the national conference.
My question is more basic.
If they want Omar to step down, they'll make him step down. But I think that it doesn't. You see, we celebrated the elections even during BJP's time, even during Mr. Vajpayee's time. The successful conduct of elections was greatly celebrated and presented to the international community as a success of Indian democracy.
But
Similarly, Mr. Omar Abdullah's election, the NC and the Congress coalition, when it came to power, it was presented to the international community as a success of Indian democracy.
Mr. Sharma,
what are we doing to Indian democracy?
No, Mr. Sharma.
When we are going to say that we are going to be led by what the army thinks. No. This is one point of view that needs to be factored in when we take a decision.
No, isn't it? Isn't the army just being made a scapegoat in all of this? I mean, nobody's questioning Omar Abdullah's governance. Let me get Rajeev Chandrasekhar. One second, I have to go to
Arnab, let me come in here. Arnab, may I come in here?
Okay.
Arnab, may I say one thing here? You know, it's not the army, the question of the army being made a scapegoat. Of course, the political leadership is groping, it's blundering. You know, Omar Abdullah has not been able to get a grip on the situation in the valley. The center is clueless about what it is to do. The Prime Minister cannot get his own CCS to sort of endorse what is, I believe, his own viewpoint. I agree. But the whole discourse is becoming army versus the political leadership. And I think that is a very, very alarming trend in India. You cannot have a public debate and a discourse between the army and the elected democratic leadership.
Precisely.
And I think that... No, but that is how the debate is going. That is where the debate is headed.
Because
so the army is opposing this.
Arnab, can I say something?
No, I'll come to you, Rajeev Chandrasekhar. I'll come to you, Rajesh. I just want to get Shabnam Lone in. But let it be clear tonight. Diluting or maintaining, reducing or abdicating or strengthening the powers of the army has been turned into a political sop, and deny it as much as we want to. But today it's quite clear that it's being discussed whether or not this sop should be given or this sop should not be given. Nobody's talking about Omar Abdullah's record. I want to get Shabnam Lone.
The districts where it is... Arnab, the districts where it is being said that the Armed Forces Special Powers Act be diluted, the army is not even present there.
No. Question is, why is this being turned into a political sop?
So where is it that the army is being made a scapegoat?
Omar Abdullah says, I want a sop to give to the people of Kashmir. And people are saying, this is the sop that you will be given. Now, Omar Abdullah is sulking because he's not being given the opportunity to hand over the sop, as if giving the sop to to Omar Abdullah will change things on the ground in Jammu and Kashmir. Let me get Shabnam Lone's views on this. Will it change things so dramatically, Ms. Lone?
Well, no, Arnab, let Omar Abdullah sulk. I, as a Kashmiri, am really not bothered why he is sulking. Nothing rankles the human heart more than a brooding sense of injustice. And that is what pervades the valley this time. Yesterday was a Monday of mayhem, a bloody Monday. 17, 18, 19 people dead on a single day. Now, I've been hearing the other distinguished panelists. It's fine, they're entitled to their views. But what pains me as a Kashmiri, now it has turned into a Umar versus army debate. Now, Umar is the executive head of the state, a duly elected chief minister. I'm not arguing on that. But every administrative action, where what the police has done, what the security forces have done, it emanates from the executive authority. Answer this question for me, for Kashmir. Who is responsible for these 80 deaths which have taken place since June 11? Now, I might say as a Kashmiri, I also want Aqsa to go. But the fact is, barring some incidents like Mathil, where the army was involved in human rights violations or any other human rights violations, will raise a hue and cry. But the question is the army responsible for these 80 deaths which have taken place since June 11 till yesterday? Is the army responsible, or is the executive head of the state responsible?
Fundamental
from whom
point.
every administrative act emanates?
Fundamental
this should be
point.
the issue.
Fundamental point.